Hey guys, Elizabeth Quinn here again with Elizabeth's Scenes and Scents. Welcome back to my channel. Please don't forget to check out my website, which is waftingwonderfulwax.scentsy.us, where I am Liz Quinn, your lead Scentsy consultant. So today I have for you just my weekly, what I have been warming, my thoughts about all the different things that I have been using in my home over the past 7 days. So let's just dive right on in. So first off, I did again melt our new Sweet and Sassy, which is the Peter Pan Tinkerbell scent. I am loving this, you guys. It is not an extremely strong smell, but when I use a whole bar in multiple warmers in my house and then make sure that whatever else I put in isn't terribly strong too, this is just happiness in a bar. So it's very sunny. It definitely has sort of an orange or tangerine note, and then it's got the kiwi and just a brightness. It's light and bright and juicy and happy. I put this in my club. This and Dumbo, they're different. Dumbo is definitely more orange heavy, more cream heavy, but they're both scents that are pick-me-ups emotionally, and they're just really, really happy. So I want a ton more of this, and I am going to put some away. And once I get to probably a stack of 8 or 9, I'll take it out of my club. But this is one that I want to have more of for the future. And it's medium at best, but a decent performer as far as goes nicely in the room once you get it going. And you just need to be careful not to saturate the rest of the house with something super strong. Like I wouldn't recommend coconut lemongrass or squeeze the day or anything else like that with this. It would be too strong. So what I did do in other rooms on the same day, which happened to be Mother's Day, was some lemon coconut chiffon, because this is a very dramatic scent for a short period of time, and then it dies down and really fades out, and the Tinkerbell scent just kept on ticking away the rest of the day. So this one is also in my club, and it's super happy. It is a Bakery Addict's lemon and coconut bar. So it definitely smells like it has almost a toasted coconut, a really nice buttery cake or like a custard, and then all that lemon. It just isn't really great on the longevity, but oh my gosh, when it is in the warmer, it is delicious. So I have to say that when we came home from church, both of the bars were performing pretty well at that point, and it almost smelled like Cutie Pie Cupcake or Fruit Loops in my house with both of these, this and the Sweet and Sassy, mixing in the air. It was really, really pleasant and happy and sugary and sweet and great. So then another day, as I was changing things out for a more summer look around the house, you can definitely see I got out all my beach goodies. I had some really beachy scents going. So I love Mahalo Coconut. If any of you watched my top 10 collab with Linda H, this was my number 2 scent of all time for right now anyway in the catalog. For spring summer, this is creamy and dreamy, and it has such an interesting layered number of notes. If you miss pineapple coconut vanilla, I think that there's just a hint of that in here. They're different, but it has kind of that blue, purple, creamy, cool summertime feel, and I love it. It is so relaxing. So it's got coconut, but it doesn't hit you over the head or isn't real straightforward in the coconut department, and it's not pineapple coconut like Pina Colada Cha-Cha, which I will be melting eventually. I just want the weather to be a little bit sunnier. But this one, oh, it was just so good. I put this in my Florida room. I got out my new Coastal Light Warmer, put a bunch of this in there, and it was just totally perfectly relaxing. It was great. So then a little bit, just to keep the house nice and fresh, I threw in By the Sea in a few of the warmers, and this one is a powerhouse. It's just a really nice, salty, sea air and beach grass kind of a scent. This one, if you're going to mix this or have other warmers with other things, make sure that you use fewer cubes of By the Sea in ratio because it's quite strong. And then I did in the front room here in my Shining Light and my Sweetgrass basket, which we affectionately call the Snake basket. If you guys have ever seen that warmer, it's retired. Beautiful blue and white with a really cool lid to look like the Sweetgrass baskets that they make in the Low Country. Anyway, I put coconuts for coconuts in both of those, and it was so nice. I am getting more of the coconut this season than I have in the past when I got almost all tiara flower. And this is a really good bar. It does remind me to some degree of Lush Gardenia because it's got that strong, heady, white scent, but it's not all floral. Then you get the ocean water and the coconut from this to go with the tiara flower. It's beautiful, and it is a boomer, and it's a very, very good scent from our current catalog. So then another day, I was doing a wax war between the retired, but it's in my club, amazing Bora Bora Blossom, which is probably my favorite lush tropical fruit scent that Scentsy's ever made, and the new Aloha Orchid, which is definitely a very close runner-up. Between the two, I think Bora Bora Blossom still has this sort of creaminess to it that is a little bit better, in my opinion, by just the tiniest bit than Aloha Orchid, which is a little bit brighter, even though it has coconut cream. Oh, this one is so good. I don't know. This is just a little bit more vintage, a little bit older. To me, just the perfect quintessential I want to get on a jet and go to Hawaii kind of smell. But very close in the running is Aloha Orchid, which just has a tiny bit more brightness. It's so happy. This has more juice, whereas that has more cream. That's the only way I could describe it to you. But they are both luscious and tropical and happy and smooth, and the performance was about the same. Aloha Orchid might be slightly stronger because it is a little bit brighter. They were so nice, and we'll be doing that combination alternate warmers again in the house soon. So then there was one cold, rainy day where I went back to my favorite fall-winter smells. I did Buckleberry, which I know a lot of people think that this is just a strong berry scent and that it lacks complexity and it really doesn't have the coffee cake that the description promises, but I love this one because it is the best, most tart, saturated berry scent I think Scentsi's ever made that holds up to all things bakery. You can put this with almond croissant. You can put this with, I usually use it with French toast. You can put it with, just about anything. And it pushes back on the spicy bakery bars. I think it would also be excellent with cinnamon vanilla. You could just go on and on and on. So I am debating whether to keep French toast in my club because even though I love the smell, it's not the best keeper. There is what people call a burning wire scent to the cinnamon in this the longer that the bars sit and cure. This bar was still good enough that I think I will get a few more, but as they sit, and I don't know how many people have this in their club and how fast the production amounts go through as far as the stacks that might sit for a long time. So it's kind of up in the air for me. I'll probably wait until fall and see what the bakery category offerings are going to be. And then I really, really wish the French toast stayed the way that it was when it was freshly poured. It was incredible, but it just gets a little weird as it sits in the clam. All right, another day, I was really experimenting with an interesting actual direct mix combination. I love an ancient Yankee jar candle called Roses of the Cliff Walks. It's very rosy, but it has kind of a sea spray saltiness to it, if I remember right. It's been years since I smelled it. So heirloom rose that we have in our current Epcot collection is gorgeous. I do like rose, and this is probably the nicest one Scentsi's ever made. It's got a softness and a realism and an authentic antique rose smell, whereas something like Simply Rose is just all rose in your face all the time in a way that is very unpleasant. This is great, but I thought it would be even better if I literally mixed it with some By the Sea. So 2-to-1 would probably be the best ratio. It was beautiful. It gave you this just amazing walking by the ocean. I'm totally making up this scenario, but you've got, climbing roses coming down the cliff sides, and it was just absolutely fantastic. Like you wanted to see Mr. Darcy walk around the corner or something. It was great. So then we also had Ariel that I was doing in the back room. I just have a couple cubes left of this. I sort of poo-pooed this bar because I don't love sharp, aquatic, fruity scents. But what I am finding is that I really wanted to Make a Splash. I can't stand it. I've tried it several times. I'm not getting another bar. For me, it's a waste of money. I gifted the last one that I ended up with. But this Ariel Under the Sea is softer, but kind of has the same idea with the turquoise water and the apple and the freshness, but it isn't too much. So I am toying with the idea of getting one more bar of this and putting it away. It depends on whether or not it rolls over into the next catalog, so I think I'll probably wait until I see, which it'll be in August. Can you believe it's almost June, and then we only have a couple months to wait, and we'll get a big reveal on the fall-winter catalog, which I am a fall-winter girl. I'm here for the spring-summer, but I am here for fall-winter. Anyway, I'm rambling. Ariel, if she does not continue on into the fall-winter catalog, I'll probably grab a bar and put it away, because once in a while, this is something that I will crave, but rarely. It was good. I enjoyed it. Okay, another day, I don't know why, I was just into all the apple and the fruit punch. So I had a little bit of apple press left, just a couple of cubes, and I put this in the back room before I changed out my stuff from spring into summer. So this was in my old Elegance warmer, which is a beautiful warmer. It's prettier than it is a good performer. It's a good performer, but it's not great. It's got kind of a small octagonal dish. And this, I just did a couple cubes in there, went for a couple of days, 2 or 3 days actually. in the Florida room, just really nice. This is one of my favorite apple smells. Has a little bit of rose and a little bit of pear, so it leans fall and it's so good. And then in the front room, I did a whole bunch of Appealing Apple, which is a more floral, more summertime apple scent. This has definitely more of like apple or pear blossoms and a little bit of sweetness. It's more blended and it is very light and happy. If you haven't tried Appealing Apple, this is really, really good if you like fruity or floral. It's really nice. And then just 2 cubes of Paradise Punch in the dining room to just kind of keep the apple from being too boring in one note. This is a bar that is a classic. Scentsy always brings this back for spring, summer. It's like Hawaiian fruit punch, but good Hawaiian fruit punch. I don't go through tons of bars of it, but I throw a couple cubes in here and there once in a while, and it gives me that perfect, really summery, juicy scent with all the saturated fruits, kind of like buckleberry. It is a saturated fragrance. I think Scentsy has gotten away from those super, super deep, rich scents that when we do bring back my bar or we have an old standard in the catalog like this, I appreciate those. Just like with perfume, I think over decades, people's tastes change, and I don't feel like for the most part we get so much depth in a lot of our scents as we used to. They're more light, they're more floaty. I think that that's just more of the times, but hit me with all the old good saturated stuff. I love this. All right, now what else do I have here? Ooh, I was doing a day where I wanted to really highlight our just re-released Last Petal in our Belle and Beauty and the Beast collection that launched a couple of Mondays ago. This is a very nice bar if you like floral or if you like fruity or if you like citrus. It's a nice balance of grapefruit and apricot and a little bit of just sheer petals. Very pretty. Very ladylike. It is a nice smell where you had no idea that this is Disney Beauty and the Beast. It doesn't make me think of that. It just makes me think of elegance and sophistication, and it's really, really good. So if you are looking for a medium to medium strong performer, depends on the room and the height of the ceiling, and you like a little bit of that apricot and that grapefruit, which is an interesting combination, should definitely pick this one up. It's good. Now, if I had to pick between the Sweet and Sassy and the Last Petal, I'm going to buy more of the Sweet and Sassy because there's something in that for me is kind of addictive, whereas that one's just nice and I'm good with a couple. I want a lot more of the Tinkerbell bar. All right, what else was I doing? Ooh, I was doing some lemon sorbet, which this has always been kind of not the one that I love of our lemon scents, but this summer it's growing on me. Typically I will mix this, and I haven't done that yet this year. But it's sharp and clean. And I guess right now I'm sort of going through a phase where I want some sharp and clean Scentsy in my life. So the grapefruit and the lemon and the iciness is really good. And I have actually been melting more of that than I typically do. And just a couple cubes, I think, of tangerine creamsicle was also floating around in some mini warmers because I wanted to sweeten it a little. Because between the grapefruit and the grapefruit that are in both of those other bars I just talked about, it was getting a little sharp. So this, with its beautiful mango and cream and tangerine, just totally smoothed that right out. So today, I am doing Soft Plumeria, also from our Epcot collection, here in the front room. 2 cubes and 2 cubes in my warmers. This is so beautiful. This is a beautiful floral. It is a summer tropical floral, but unlike something like Aloha Orchid where there's lots of other stuff to jazz it up, I know that there's supposed to be a little bit of teak and some other something in here, but this is just Plumeria. It's beautiful Plumeria. It's creamy, lush, soft Plumeria. And since I like gardenia, I like tiara flower, I like coconut, I like Plumeria, all those things together, this is a bar I love. I did throw it in my club. It's one of those where I'm debating keeping it in there. But oh man, this is so good. And it just makes me happy. Medium strong throw. Camu, I told you, in the last video that I filmed, I told you that I finally broke some of this out because I had ordered another bar. This one is getting a little bit beat up, this poor old clam. I don't tend to go through tons of Camu, but it's one of those where I crave 1 or 2 a season, and it has passion fruit, and it's got just a really nice, juicy, tropical, and very quintessentially summertime Scentsy scent. Really happy and nice. This is also very good melted in alternate warmers with Havana Cabana or skinny dipping. Those are kind of like the summer traditional trio, those 3. So then I had half a clam left of Zoinks, which when I started to put together my licensed melting basket for May, I wanted to make sure I got through this. This has pink pineapple and some sort of an orangey citrus. I didn't love it all by itself. It seemed a little bit lacking. So I did a direct warmer mix with pineapple sorbet, which was in a flash sale over a year ago, I believe. These two together brought out all that pineapple, and it was almost like a pina colada, and it was wonderful. I really miss pineapple sorbet. It's one of my favorite, probably the favorite pineapple scent I've ever had from Scentsy. And it's really, really good. So I picked up some in that flash sale, but I would love to see that come back for Bring Back My Bar or be in the catalog again. All right, what else do we have here? Oh, the only thing that's going in the basement is using up some tangerine creamsicle mixed with a little bit of vanilla waves, which is mostly vanilla waves. It's such a bossy bar. And this is just, beautiful, creamy, dreamy caramel and vanilla and a little bit of sea salt. And then you add the creaminess from tangerine creamsicle plus the fruitiness, and it's a very nice mix. Direct mix, just in one warmer downstairs to make it a little bit interesting when I'm going down to change the laundry. So then what's left is a whole bunch of randomness that I was doing in warmers in bedrooms. So the first one I want to talk about has nothing to do with summer. It was the day that I was melting the buckleberry and the French toast. I got out one of my very few clams of hazelnut frosting. And I remember loving this, but since I only get 3 a year because it's in my quarterly, and then I always have to skip one quarterly because it's a rather large shipment every year, so that only lets me get 3. I used, I think, 3 cubes in my bedroom to kind of hoard it. Oh, was this good, you guys. If we could ever vote this back. If you are a bakery lover, if you love vanilla bean buttercream but you want it to be interesting, hazelnut frosting is the best buttercream, ginger, and hazelnut scent they've ever invented. I have no idea why this has never come back for anything since they did it in a holiday trio. It's so good. Knocks hazelnut latte out of the park. I love this one. This is authentic. It's nutty. It's got this little bit of intriguing ginger. It's warm. It's just, so good. One of my favorite bars that's in my quarterly that I really hoard because you need at least 3 or 4 cubes to enjoy it. And then it's gone so fast. So this was really nice. And it doesn't feel Christmassy to me at all. It's just a really luxurious bakery buttercream smell. Okay, enough about that. I used up some High Mountain Lake because I ordered a couple more full clams, but I had just a couple cubes kicking around. Did this in my bedroom one day. This is current Father's Day. It is very nice. It's intriguing, very difficult scent to describe. So it's got some cedar. It's got a lot of like edelheitic type notes. Very high tone, bright, outdoorsy scent. I know it's got some violet leaf, Virginia cedar. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't think I'm going to club this, but I like it better than the other one, even though the Desert Rock and Citron is a better performer. This one is more intriguing to me. So it's an interesting bar. It was good enough in my bedroom. Then my girls were doing lilacs and violets, not my favorite, but this is current catalog, definitely old school with the lilacs and the violets, and they really enjoy melting this in the spring. It does make their room smell very comforting. Then one of my girls grabbed some white sands today. This is coming back and Bring Back My Bar. I just ordered my Bring Back My Bar kit. I hope that one doesn't get lost and that I will soon have the reviews for you. The cold sniffs, there's only one in the whole collection of Bring Back My Bar that I've never smelled. And if my husband has time, I'll bring him on. It just depends on what's going on with work. Summertime's a lot harder than in the wintertime to get him available to film. But oh man, White Sands is coming back. It is beautiful. It's dreamy, creamy, soft, sophisticated, bedroom type scent. And it has jasmine. It's got rice milk. It is a very hard one to describe. You have to just try it for yourself. And if you get this bar and you think it's not going to be strong enough, put in enough cubes. Probably 2 or 3 cubes per warmer in a medium sized space. It will be beautiful in half an hour or 45 minutes. It will just envelop your room with sophistication and old world class. Oh, like, I always think of Anne of Green Gables, where Anne and her friend Diana are walking along the beach in their beautiful white dresses after that special concert where she recited The Highwayman and she has her string of pearls. This bar just makes me think of that moment and the beautiful cinematography looking out over Prince Edward Sound, I believe. It's gorgeous. That's what this bar is. So yeah, that was a bit of a segue. That's one of my favorite bars, if you cannot tell. Amazon Rain. I think one of my girls just grabbed 1 cube of this to put in her room. This is a classic that's always in the catalog. I want this in a brick. It is a beautiful, creamy coconut, jasmine, orange, a little bit of like a nice lush green quality. Beautiful blend that you could use any time of the year. I tend to like it the best in the spring. It's so good. Sand Swept. This one is just going in my bedroom right now. And this is retired. It was in certain flash sales and bundles last year. This was really nice with the lemon, and it's got a little bit of like a rock scent and a little bit of ocean air. And it's just a very nice summertime fresh, but interesting with enough notes, kind of a fresh scent. Very good. And then I have a couple clams left of Graduation, which is a buttery suede and apple smell. It is light and gentle, really good for a bedroom or a study. This was hanging out in clearance for forever, and I picked up a couple bars before it was gone completely. If I ever saw that in a flash sale, I'd grab a couple more. And last but not least, one of my friend Linda H's favorite bars, and I forget to warm this. I now remember how good it is and why she put it in her top 10. Summer Moonlight is fabulous. If you haven't tried it, please do. It's sandalwood and strawberries and sweet pea. It's better than the sum of its parts. It is gorgeous. I put this in my bedroom, and I'm going to be ordering more in my next party closeout haul for sure. It is really, really nice. It's an interesting balance between the fruit and the sandalwood and the floral. I like it 100 times better than Luna. It's almost like amped up with all the things that are in Luna, but like you can really smell it here in Summer Moonlight, and it's so good. So this is Elizabeth with Elizabeth's Scenes and Scents with what I have been warming recently, and I want to know what bar in the Bring Back My Bar roster that will be coming also June 1st, along with the new scent and warmer of the month. I'll be getting that in the mail really soon. I am so excited about the June scent and warmer of the month. It's really, really up my alley, especially the warmer. So we've got that. We've got the Sunshine State of Mind. But what I was going to say is, what bar do you know you love that's coming in our next Bring Back My Bar crop? And or what bar or bars have you never smelled? My beloved Rustic Lodge is going straight back into my club, I promise. I love Hendrix. I love Churro Churro. I love Harbor's Edge. There's a whole stack of them. Ooh, Vanilla Suede is excellent. And you know what? If you had a heartbreak with Vitamin R Relax, it is not the same, but Vanilla Suede is kind of along those lines, and I love Vanilla Suede. It might even be better than Vitamin R Relax. They're a little bit different, but that's just something I want to put out there because I know that I have a few like YouTube contemporaries that do channels that I know. I think it was for Brett. He had this heartbreak with not putting Vitamin R in his club, and I would definitely recommend that our Vanilla Suede may be a decent like runner-up to kind of fit that niche in your collection. So anyway, I'm rambling again. What are you excited about that is coming? And I'm going to get off now. Elizabeth with Elizabeth's Scenes and Scents. See you soon. Bye-bye.